Good afternoon, everybody. It's Tess Crawley here, clinical and forensic psychologist and director of Dr. Tess Crawley and Associates. I am so happy it's Friday. I have had a really busy week, and we have a little tradition in our house of, curling up on the couch on a Friday afternoon with some, naughty food and a bit of a movie, or maybe some Doctor Who. The kids and I are really into Doctor Who at the moment, and I've just been really hanging out all day just to hang out with my kids this evening and have a really nice relaxed night. Now I'm just before I go any further, I want to share this into the Stigma Rebellion, so bear with me. It's a bit tedious. I've got to let the laptop catch up. So my live stream into my phone here is about a second or two ahead of what's actually happening on the internet. So what you're hearing coming out of my mouth is probably a second or two after I've said it. So I've got to let the laptop catch up. There we go. And then, hi Mel, that was quick. I've just got to share this into the Stigma Rebellion. I wanted to talk today, actually, I said to my kids about a couple of minutes ago, I said, I need to do my video and then I can sit on the couch and we can chill out and watch Doctor Who. I said, what should I talk about today? I really don't know what to talk about. And my big boy said, why don't you talk about how good I am at maths? I went, oh, really? And then my little one turned around and said, and why don't you talk about how good I am at reading? And of course I congratulated them both on how proud I am of their achievements in their reading and their maths. And then I thought, oh yeah, I could talk about a growth mindset and how we encourage kids to develop a growth mindset. So I'll just quickly share these into the rest of my little wee groupies. And by groupies I mean groups, not a fan club, because that would be weird. So I don't know if you've heard the term growth mindset. I've used it a little bit with my team. And with my team, I've talked about a growth mindset in terms of what it means for having an expectation of development and innovation and growth and so on within the practice. But increasingly I'm hearing the phrase growth mindset being used with reference to children, and schools are picking up on this term quite a bit as well, growth mindset. So what exactly is a growth mindset? Well, as soon as I've just shared into my final group, which is the meeting room, there we go. Welcome everybody. I think you're all with me now. So now a little bit of a caveat. I'm not a growth mindset expert, especially as it comes to kids, but I am. Oh, hi Ange, you're with me too this afternoon. Nice to see you. Growth mindset is a little bit it's becoming a little bit more of a catchphrase that I'm hearing a lot of. More recently, it was resilience. Schools were talking about resilience all the time, and which is a great topic for them to be discussing and a great culture for them to be developing in schools. And now I'm hearing a lot of reference to growth mindset in schools, and also a fantastic thing to be encouraging. And it does feed into resilience too. So I'm really hanging out for a book. I've been, I think I had about 3 separate occasions last week where 3 completely independent individuals mentioned the same book in glowing terms, and I thought I really need to get hold of this book. And the book is called Mindset, and it is by Carol Dweck, D-W-E-C-K, and she's a psychologist, and she's written this book called Mindset, based on a lot of research that she did, and it was all about looking at how children approach difficult situations at school, how they develop their skill sets academically, how they overcome adversity academically, how some kids are seemingly skilled at doing that more so than others. The interesting thing that she noticed was that the kids who were really smart and got problems easily and being able to figure things out quite easily, when they were rewarded by being told how smart they were, she found that when a task got more difficult, so a little bit beyond their capabilities, they were quicker to give up than children who were praised on other qualities. So she did lots and lots of research to figure out why was that so. The kids who were being told that they were smart and clever and could achieve these great things were quicker to give up when the going got a bit rougher than the other kids. So the research that she's done now, keep in mind I haven't read the book yet, I haven't even received the book yet, I'm dying for it to arrive. But from what I understand, the research that she did showed that it comes down to how you praise a child in terms of how much energy they feel they have available to battle their way through problems and learning new situations and learning new skills. So what she's found overall is that when we praise effort rather than fixed abilities. So, for example, being attractive is considered a fixed quality. Being intelligent is considered a fixed quality. And so when you perceive that you've reached the limit of that fixed quality, such as intelligence, so if we feel, okay, I'm smart, I get things easily, when I reach a problem that I can't solve easily, then because we believe that our intelligence is a fixed quality, it has a limit, and when we reach that limit, oh well, I can't do that one, that's beyond me, and we give up. That's sort of the very simplified version of what she found. The alternative is when she found that children were being praised for working hard, they were praised for using some problem-solving strategies. Basically, they were being praised on levels of qualities that were not fixed. So how hard you work is not predetermined. It is not fixed. It's a fluid thing. You can choose to have a lazy day. You can choose to have a really hard-working day. You can choose to really apply yourself to a particular problem, or you can choose to walk away from it. So what Carol Dweck has found basically in this research of hers over a number of years was that children who were praised for hard work and for having a go were more likely to persist as task difficulty increased. So they were more likely to keep going and to keep trying because they believed that it wasn't whether or not they were intelligent that was going to get them ahead, it was whether or not they worked hard, or whether or not they applied themselves, or whether or not they tried. So there's a lot, you'll see there's a lot on Facebook, there's a lot of commentary around the notion of giving all children a ribbon at a school athletics carnival. Now, some children are academically, very skilled. Other children, myself, not so much. So for my kids to get a certificate or a ribbon for having a go, for turning up and participating, actually does mean something. For them to always see that they never win something would mean something too. So the kids who are prepared to turn up and have a go, the kids who are prepared to try, the kids who are prepared to just see what happens, not write themselves off before they've even started, rewarding that, praising that, encouraging that quality, that's what builds that growth mindset. So whether we're talking about academics, whether we're talking about sporting prowess, whether we're talking about ability to complete chores around the house, it doesn't really matter what we're talking about. It's the praising of the attempt, the participation, the striving to achieve. And I use the word achieve loosely. I don't just mean academic achievement. So I'm going to talk more about mindset as we go on, but I want you to think about, from an adult perspective, what are some of the things some of the messages that you give yourself? I remember when I was at school, and my brother was very gifted in sporting ability and I wasn't, and I was more bookish and he wasn't. And I remember I distinctly recall him saying to me one day, oh, I can't do that. You can do that stuff, but I can't do that. And that memory has stuck with me, and I've heard him say similar things as an adult, and I think that I would say similar things about my sporting ability still as an adult, which is why, for me, going to the gym's actually you know, it's a challenge. It's a challenge for me to do something that's physically, it requires a bit of physical coordination and a bit of physical effort and all of that, because that doesn't come naturally to me. I have to really work hard at it. So having, for example, some sessions with a personal trainer is really good, because they're encouraging me and rewarding me for putting the effort in. Doesn't matter that I'm not necessarily any good at it. Doesn't matter that I'm not necessarily, or not physically coordinated. The fact that I turn up, the fact that I have a go, actually does mean something. So when you hear people criticising schools for giving everyone a ribbon at sporting carnivals, or giving certificates for attendance, for example, just remember that what the schools are trying to achieve is they're trying to achieve reward for effort, reward for turning up. Obviously, there are reasons, you know, my kids never get certificates for attendance, because there are just reasons why they often, you know, may miss some school. And that's, you know, things that are outside of their control, and that might seem unfair, and it probably is a bit. But the overall, schools are increasingly trying to encourage children to develop a growth mindset. And I think it's really important for adults to not write themselves off either, to actually start looking at the messages we give ourselves. Are we telling ourselves we're no good at certain things and therefore we give up before we've even tried? So have a think about what it is, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your relationship life, whether it's in your parenting skills, whether it's in your cooking ability, knitting, who knows, whatever it might be. Are you telling yourself you can't do something and therefore quitting before you've tried? Or are you encouraging a growth mindset in yourself by saying, you know what, if I try a little bit harder, and if I get a little bit of advice, and if I get some help, or if I delegate some aspects of this task, maybe I can actually achieve what it is I'm trying to achieve in my life too. So have a think about that for today. Anyway, it is Friday, and I am going to go and relax for the rest of the evening with my kids and have my lovely Friday evening tradition, which I look forward to every week. I don't know if you've got a Friday tradition, but I hope you do, and I hope you enjoy it, whatever it is. Don't forget to let me know if you're enjoying the videos. Give me a thumbs up. Feel free to share. Feel free to tag people if you think this is a helpful topic for somebody that you know. And of course, don't forget, if you're wanting to comment or participate privately, you can join me in the Stigma Rebellion, and then nobody else knows what you're saying. And if you're a professional, you're very welcome, a mental health professional, you're very welcome to join the meeting room, which is my closed community for all mental health professionals. I've also got two other groups for psychologists in particular, one for supervisors called Psychology Supervisors Australia, and another one that is for rural mental health professionals, generally speaking, with a rural interest. Have a fabulous weekend. I'll be talking to you again tomorrow. Can you believe I've only got 12 days left of my 90-day vlog challenge? So I am already starting to think about what happens post 90 days. Don't worry, I will not disappear in a puff of smoke, as perhaps some of you might wish. That I will still be here, and I'll be still doing these videos, but there might be some there will be some changes to how they're done and how they're structured. Also, don't forget, we've got our live Q&A sessions on Tuesday coming up next week. So have a look at the Facebook page. You'll see our pinned post advertising those live Q&A sessions. So if you've got questions you'd like me to cover in the Q&A session, make sure you get them through to me. Toot sweet. Have a great Friday night. I'll talk to you all again tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.